Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 8 of Civilization 5. As friends, we've managed to settle our fourth city up here to the north. It's going to take a little while for it to get growing. It's not the best of cities, but it's mainly been put there as a sort of a forward staging base so we can attack Ethiopia later on. We need to connect Leon up to Paris with a road. It's going to be quite expensive because it is quite far away, but there's not an awful lot that we can do about that. We could go ahead and grab these spices up here. That would certainly help us out with our happiness problem. We will eventually grow in that direction. Our borders will expand there. It's going to take a little bit longer, of course, because it's behind a mountain, so we're going to work around the mountain. Japan stole theology, which is very annoying. Decided to let it slide this time, but I'm keeping my eye on you. Troy converted. Yeah, they're going to keep trying to spaff religion on me, but they're not. It doesn't really bother me up there. University in Orleans has finished, which is very nice. Do we have a sea trade route yet? Trade route overview. Trade routes available. Yes. Orleans to Brussels, and it's a good one. And it's always worth getting cargo ships if you can. So we are going to work on a cargo ship down here for the time being. Paris has finished its pikemen, which is very, very good. We can't build the Circus Maximus anymore because we don't have a Colosseum in our newest city. We can certainly go ahead and get the Writers Guild, and I'm tempted to do that now. We need to start getting great works out so that we can start getting some tourism, because we'll probably find that some of the AI already has at least some culture, including Russia, so they might be our big problem later on. We don't want them having too much tourism output. Now, apparently Hiawatha was plotting against us. I don't know how well he's going to do that. One other reason which will be very nice to take Ethiopia out is it will stop all this missionary spam, because that is going to get annoying. We have our warrior here. I think you can just come up to this side of the river and we'll probably just heal you up. On to the next turn. Not a lot we can do on that turn. Still managing to hover around 4th place on the scoreboard, but as we've learnt from previous games, the score isn't everything, but it certainly helps. Sistine Chapel, has that already been built? Because the Sistine Chapel has two great work slots, and we could potentially build it in Paris if we really spam production. What about Leon? What are we going to build over here? Guess we could get the National Epic. It doesn't really matter. We want to try and stack all of our tourism buildings in one city. We're not making a huge amount of money. We do have gold. Let's go ahead and build a mint over here so we get the bonus from the gold tile. You guys can just heal up. Hopefully that missionary is going to go away. You're working on the road, so we'll build another tile here. We'll probably build the pasture on the cattle before we continue the road, and then we'll work our way through towards Paris. Not too sure what happened to my scout. I haven't seen him for a while. I did put him onto automated. I'm very surprised that he hasn't run into barbarians by now or got stuck because he's in somebody's borders. I'm not sure if he had the embarkation bonus. I think he might have done, so it is possible he'll disappear off into the water at some point. We shall see. You just stay there and go on alert. I don't think there's an awful lot else for you to do. You're just going to heal up. That's fine. Then we'll bring... In fact, we can bring you back to Orleans to heal up. 1, you'll heal up quicker, and 2, oligarchy means you'll cost us less money. You're going to build a road there. You guys have finished the camp. So let's go over and work on the cattle. That makes the most sense. What I will do as well is I'll keep my eye on Hurrah and see if they get close to getting this fish tile. If they do, I'll buy the fish tile to stop them. I'm also tempted, because I do have the money, is I'm going to buy that tile. I can't buy this one down here. But obviously the hills are always a choke point for moving troops because of the penalty to movement. At least this means I could build a road. And it means they can't use it for their, they can't get it as their own tile. Unless they're willing to use a great general. So it's better it be my tile than theirs. Also, it's another hill, which will be better production for me. That's probably really going to tick him off. But do you know what? I don't actually care. My plan is to wipe him out. He only has 2 cities. He seems to be spending all of his production on missionaries and wonders. So hopefully he's not going to have too much of an army, but you never know. Remember, it is Emperor difficulty. The AI does get huge bonuses to production. And we know at least some of his wonders have come from using great engineers. What have we got? You guys have finished that farm. That was actually pretty quick. I guess building a mine over here wouldn't be a bad idea. Get us some additional construction going in Paris for when we try and build the Sistine Chapel. That's assuming it's not already gone. There's every possibility that it has, but we'll certainly try anyway. And then we'll be that'll put us in the Renaissance era, which means when we get our next social policy in 12 turns, we'll be able to put it into rationalism. As much as it'd be nice to try and stay in aesthetics, it will be really, really important for us to get ahead on science. So you guys are going to go ahead and build a mine. Sistine Chapel hasn't gone, so that's good. Orleans, what have you just completed? You've just completed the cargo ship, which is good. So let us go ahead and get the lighthouse there, because we've been putting that off for a little while. Paris, Sistine Chapel. It's 24 turns to build the Sistine Chapel in Paris. We could actually build it quicker in Orleans. But we are going to do this. Paris, you are actually on production focus. So much so, in fact, you've actually got unemployed citizens. So we really need to get some of these tiles improved. Yeah, that's a lot of unemployed citizens. What about if we put you in the Writers Guild? Does slow the production down a little bit, but we do need those great writers. This will help, of course, once we've got the mine here. But yeah, we don't have much production at all going on in Paris. That's pretty bad. I think we need to get some lumber mills going. You guys are going to construct a pasture there. The cargo ship, where are we going to send you? Well, Brussels is the only option we have from Orleans. Of course, we probably have trade routes available up here, because Troyes could go to Harare, for example. But don't really want to be helping out Ethiopia if I can avoid it. Catherine has entered the Renaissance era, so technically we are slightly ahead of Russia. Although they could have more technologies than us in total. In another few turns, we'll be able to start getting some of our chateaus, which will be really nice. We could probably still do with some more workers, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We're making some decent money now, which is also nice. Units needing orders. You've built that road. Let's get you here and build a pasture. Warrior, you're just going to sit there and heal up. I can't believe that this was like our worst production city at one point, and it's very, very quickly become one of our best. In fact, it actually has a higher population now than Paris. It just shows you what having a good religion. But it doesn't even have the religion now. It's actually even managed to lose its pantheon. But just the fact that you can have the tiles aren't helping us because it's lost its religion. We are going to need to send a missionary there, and in fact, so much so, I'm going to purchase a missionary and send that missionary down there because we're losing the bonuses from the desert tiles at the moment, which doesn't help things at all. We've finished the mint over here. We do need to get... The market would be nice, but we do need to get those universities up and running, so let's start on those. I wouldn't normally waste my... faith points on missionaries, but considering that we're getting a lot of pressure from, is it Hiawatha? Yeah, we're getting a lot of pressure from Hiawatha at the moment, so we need to try and avoid that. Morocco stole theology. We probably one of the tech leaders. We're getting spied on by a lot of people. Let's go and spread our religion down to Orleans, which will make those tiles better for us. So go ahead and do that, and then we might go and spread you over to Lyon, which wouldn't be a bad idea. Moroccan... Right, you've stole from us. We'll let it slide this time, but I'm keeping my eye on you. How long is it going to be until we can steal tech potentially from Ethiopia? 17 turns. We'll let that finish. We've completed the lighthouse here. Couple of nice things that we could get. A garden would be good. It's always good to have that happiness. Would be nice to get the temple as well. We're not desperate for the happiness. Let's go and get the temple first. We'll make the use of our religion. We can propose something here. What would we like to propose? Might as well propose World Fair, because everybody pretty much votes for that, and it does give you a diplomatic bonus with everybody, because everyone's happy that you voted for it. Warrior, you can just sit there on alert, really, and make use of your oligarchy. Save us some money. See, getting all of the people saying that they're happy with our proposal to the World's Fair. Morocco actually want a declaration of friendship. I'm going to say yes, because we are running short of people that we could potentially get research agreements with. You don't have anything I want, and I don't really want to give you open borders. He's really, really desperate to get open borders with me, but I've got no use for that at all. I don't want a declaration of friendship with Ethiopia. I do intend to go to war with them at some point. That said, I could probably go to have a declaration of friendship with them, because it would probably run out before I'm ready to go to war with them. They have just started a third city, I've noticed, up there, but that's going to be terrible because it's right up there in the tundra. They have got another it's Leonardo da Vinci. They have got another great engineer over here, but this city is going to be so nice to take. In fact, I think what I will do is I will, if he's still willing to do it, no, we don't have the option for the declaration of friendship. That's a shame. I was going to say, if we can do it, we can get a research agreement, and then that should run out, and then we'll go and attack him. But meanwhile, let's go and have a word with Morocco. Would they be willing to do a research agreement? They don't have the money. Wow, the AI is like completely broke in this particular run through. Looks like our scout is stuck. I don't think there's anything that he needs to scout out, really. I'm just going to go ahead and disband him. I mean, it'll save me 3 gold per turn in maintenance anyway. So we're going to move over here to Lyon. It'll take a few turns. We'll use the road as much as we can, and then we'll sort of have to skip through. Declaration of friendship from Russia. Yes, we'll definitely go for that now. I asked for that a while ago, and she wasn't willing to do it. And the reason she's probably willing to do it now is because we voted for the World's Fair. Research agreement offer from Austria. They are the bottom of the... we won't get much tech from doing it. And we need to pay more because we are ahead of them in tech. So I'm going to refuse. It's probably not worth it. If I was playing on one of the higher difficulty levels, then yes, I'd pretty much need to take almost every research agreement I could get. But for what it would cost me, I mean, I'm not making that much money. And they are down at the bottom. They're probably pretty insignificant. We have chivalry now. Japan has stolen education. We are going to need to move our spy into our own city. We'll let it slide this time, again, for the second time. But I am keeping my eye on you. We'll definitely need to go and sort them out. Right, tell me you've got enough money for a research agreement. Finally. And it should just be a straight-up research agreement because we're both in the same era. Finally, we have a research agreement. What can we work on now? I guess we could go compass into astronomy and get observatories. That would help with the science. Of course, we also want to start working towards chemistry. I mean, ideally, we want to start working up and get artillery, dynamite. But that's a long way off. But let's start working towards chemistry. We are a little bit behind in this area here. Although getting galleasses and harbours would be nice. We definitely want compass first, I think. I think it's compass into astronomy. And then we'll start working towards gunpowder so we can get our musketeers. Or we could go into printing press and try and get the Globe Theatre. Which wouldn't be a bad idea. But we'd still have to go a long way to get that. That would take a long time. Although we could get an ironworks, which would be nice. Let's go for printing press, then into compass, then into astronomy, then into chemistry, and we'll tweak it as need be. All of this is going to delay the war with Ethiopia, of course, that I completely appreciate. But sometimes it's worth doing that. It'd be very, very hasty for me to go, oh, let's just go and throw everything I've got at him. But it would also be very, very stupid. I mean, we could just get a few frigates and attack Addis Ababa. It is coastal. It's a little bit difficult to get to. But we could certainly do it. You are working your way to Lyon. And you're going to spread religion. It's not all that useful here because obviously the desert folklore, but at least it's got, it actually has the right religion now. You have completed the mine. Now we could go ahead and get a chateau there. There's quite a few places we could get chateaus actually, but what we'd like to do is get some chateau. We don't want to build a chateau there. That could be a chateau, which would then mean getting rid of the jungle. We could... That can't be a chateau if that's a chateau. So what I might do is go over here and put in a lumber mill. Caravan, you can continue to Onondaga, I suppose. I guess we could send production to Paris. We could have done that to help make sure that we got the Sistine Chapel. I'm going to regret not doing that now when we miss it out by 2 turns again. Or something ridiculous like that, as always tends to happen. Still got the annoying missionaries running around, although trying to convert somebody's holy city is almost impossible, so you can try all you want. If you want to waste your missionaries by smashing their heads against the walls of Paris, you go for that. Orleans has finished the temple, which is very nice. Garden for the happiness could be useful. So would the market for the money, but let's go for the gardens for the happiness. Allows us to keep growing. Oh, it's a jungle. We can't actually get lumber mill here. We can only do that in the forest, can't we? Do we want to do that? What actually might be a better idea to do is just to chop some forests down. Chopping the forests might actually help. So I think that's what we're going to do. You have finished that. Now, this isn't going to be a particularly good city. We've already determined that, but we are going to try and get as much construction, as much production here as possible. And then when we can build ships, we should be able to just keep spitting them out of Troyes relatively quickly. That's the plan anyway. Again, we do have the wrong religion here, but it isn't going to affect us all that much. This city won't grow particularly quickly, but I can live with that. We can adopt a new policy. Let us take rationalism. Make sure we can try and stay ahead on the science curve. You guys have finished that pasture. Now, I could go ahead and try and chop down this forest. I'm not sure. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. It's closer to Paris than it is to Lyon. So this should be Paris's borders. So if I chop this forest down, the production should go into Paris. That's the hope anyway. We could actually build a chateau here, which wouldn't be a bad idea. However, we would like to get the production, but the culture's nice as well. Let's do it. It is a luxury resource. We can't build it over here, so we can build mines on these 2 tiles. We'll be okay for production there. I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. Paris. Where are you going to go to? You were going to Kaisel before. I believe you can carry on doing that. I don't see any problem with it at all. On to the next turn. Looks like we're about the 18-minute mark or so, so we can carry on for a little bit longer. Russia still likes us. That's fine. Russia's allied with... Well, not allied, but friends with Austria. Everybody's friends with everybody else, and it was amazing. Apart from Ethiopia, who are going to have a bad day at some point. Leaning Tower of Pisa has been completed. It's a shame, but not the end of the world. Cape Town wants Voltology. That's quite interesting. They're quite a distance away, though, aren't they? Cape Town's all the way up there. So they're not going to be the most useful of city-state to be allied with, and they're quite a pain to get to, so not too worried about that. We may end up at some point having to have another city over here somewhere, just so we sort of got a connection city up to Troyes. I'm not sure whether or not we're going to bother with that. We'll see how things go. You guys chop that down. It's going to take you 3 turns. It does say it will provide 15 production for the nearest city. The nearest city is Paris. We are going to do the same thing here. We could build the lumber mill, but it would take 6 turns to build the lumber mill, and it would only give us 1 production per turn. Given the fact that this tile is next to a river, it would make a better farm than it would a lumber mill. So we'll chop the forest down. In 3 turns, we should get an extra 30 production for this city. I mean, it's not the best city for production, I admit, but the tiles next to the river are better for farms. You want to carry on paying me for gold. Would you give me 98 gold per turn? You don't want to pay me for gold, do you? You want to pay me for my iron, that's what I meant. 90, so it's 90 for 2 resources. That's fine, I'll sell it to you at full price. At least that Ethiopian missionary's taking some attrition there. Nope, we don't want open borders. Need to have a look actually in the oh, great writer, finally. It took some time. I did want to have a quick look in diplomacy under the diplomacy overview and actually see, do we have any things that we could trade for? What do you have? Most people only have 1 of anything. Yeah, no one seems to have any spare luxury resources, so we can't really trade for anything. Let's just choose our production in Lyon, because we've finished the university. Let's go ahead and get the... We could get the stable, I suppose. We do have this paddock over there. Well, not paddock, it's pasture over there. Let's get the market, though, because it is going to be good for money. Lewis Carroll, writer of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Let's go ahead and... Or the Chronicles of Narnia. Let's go ahead and... was that Lewis Carroll?
Oh, you can't help that, said the cat.
Or was that C.S. Lewis? I'm confused now. Too many people with Lewis in their name. Anyway, famous writer. Yeah, Alice in Wonderland, of course. There we go. Just confuses me. So many great writers. Okay, well, that's all we can do on this turn. We are over the 20-minute mark, so it's a good place to call the video, because I'm clearly losing my marbles and forgetting stuff from school. But there we go. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you are still enjoying Civilization 5, and I'll see you on the next video. Until then, goodbye for now.